Okay, now this might be the biggest amount of leaks we have seen on Diablo 4 so far. We found over 40 unique items available for all classes, loads of cosmetics coming to the store as well as achievement-based. We have Twitch drops coming, and maybe potential mounts to ride other than horses like wolves, and so much more. This is a very jam-packed video, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be timestamps all on the screen right here, so if you want to skip ahead to what you want to see, that's no problem. You could do that. But before we dive headfirst into all this content, a quick word from our sponsor. We want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Private Internet Access. Hackers that are connected to the same Wi-Fi network have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. And that's where Private Internet Access comes in. With this program, you protect your personal data through a world-class server infrastructure, making your information shielded and bulletproof. Many websites and services across the internet are also only accessible depending on your physical location. Browsing through the internet with an encrypted connection is like paying for a Diablo season pass and only getting a fraction of the features. Streaming services such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and more have different library options based on where you're located, and some shows cannot be accessed if you are not located in the region. Private Internet Access helps you overcome these restrictions by giving you the option to change your IP address to one of their 84 countries to choose from and all 50 US states, allowing you to gain access to websites and services that are only available in these locations. I personally use this to watch The Office, Rick and Morty, and Cowboy Bebop on Netflix, which isn't even allowed in my region. Private Internet Access has over 30 million downloads, is available for all platforms on PC and mobile, works with all major streaming services, and hides your IP addresses and encrypts your internet connection. And on top of it all, by clicking the link in the description, you can get 83% off Private Internet Access. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer support available to help walk you through the whole process. So make sure to click the link in the description to secure yourself with Private Internet Access today. Okay, now starting off with one of our massive leaks, we have the 40 uniques in total for all the classes out there. I mean, if you don't know what uniques are in Diablo 4, it's pretty much going to be like your absolute best in slot gear when it comes to the end game of Diablo 4. So giving you a very drastic boost in power to your character overall, whether it be with a specific build or a hybrid set of builds, it's going to be very important in the end game. Let's kick things off with the Barbarian Uniques. Okay, so starting off, we have the Ramaladni's Magnus Opus, which is a one-handed sword, where skills using this weapon deal increased damage per point of fury you have, but you lose 2 fury per second. This can be a massive DPS increase if you have a build that generates a lot of fury, but overall is a very good weapon. Next up, we have the two-handed axe Ancient Oath. Steel Grasp launches 2 additional chains, and enemies hit by Steel Grasp are slowed drastically for 3 seconds as well. I see this unique being particularly really good in PvP, as well as for kiting mobs around to regenerate your health and play more defensive while you're waiting on your cooldowns to come back up. It also gives an increase in your rank in Steel Grasp, as well as damage to your Berserker passive. After that, we have the two-handed hammer, Hellhammer. Upheaval ignites the ground, burning enemies for an additional damage over 3 seconds, and this also scales with your level for power as well. It also increases the damage you deal to burning enemies, as well as increasing your rank in Upheaval. Next up, we have the two-handed hammer Overkill. Death Blow creates a shockwave, dealing a percentage of its base damage to nearby enemies. Enemies who died of this effect also reset Death Blow's cooldown. So this is definitely going to help you with those Death Blow AoE damage effects, and it also increases the rank of your Death Blow ability, which is very good overall too. After that, we have the two-handed sword, Fields of Crimson. Damaging an enemy with Rupture creates a blood pool that inflicts bleeding damage over 6 seconds. Enemies standing in the pool take increased bleeding damage as well. This is great for AoE damage with the bleed build, and it also reduces the cooldown of your Rupture ability, as well as increasing the ranks of it, making it stronger as well. A very powerful weapon if you're running a bleed build on Barbarian. Next up, we have the Amulet Battle Trance. This increases Frenzy's maximum stacks by 2, and while you have maximum Frenzy, your other skills gain attack speed, helping you tremendously with more consistent DPS if you're running a Frenzy build. After that, we have the Boots of 100,000 Steps. After gaining the final damage bonus from the Walking Arsenal key passive, you automatically cast Ground Stomp and gain Fury. This also increases your damage to stunned enemies and damage to skills that swap to new weapons. And lastly, it also increases the rank of your Ground Stomp ability. Next up, we have the chess piece, Rage of Herogoth. Lucky hit to have a chance to reduce the cooldowns of your non-ultimate skills by 1 second when you inflict bleeding damage on elites. This also gives you thorns and damage reduction against bleeding enemies, making it great for a bleeding thorns build on a barbarian. And lastly, we have the Gloves of Gore's Devastation Grips. Whirlwind explodes after it ends, dealing half of its damage dealt to surrounding enemies as fire damage. This is a massive piece for a barbarian overall, giving you fury on every kill that you land and giving you an increase in rank to your whirlwind ability, making this amazing for farming mobs to get gear. Next up, we have the Druid Uniques. First up for the Druid, we have the Axe Waxing Gibbous. Gain stealth for 2 seconds when killing enemies with Shred, and when you break stealth, you are guaranteed a critical strike. This also increases the damage you deal to injured enemies, as well as critical strike damage and giving you an increase to ranks in Shred, making it very powerful for a werewolf build overall. Next up, you have the Great Staff of the Crone. Claw is now a normal skill and also casts Storm Strike at 125% normal damage, giving you increase to ranks of Claw and bringing you another great werewolf unique. After that, we have the chest piece Mad Wolf's Glee, giving you werewolf form as your true form and gaining +2 ranks to all werewolf skills. This also gives you an increase to physical and poison damage and giving you a massive amount of passive movement speed as well, making this absolutely insane for werewolf players, giving you the ability to be in werewolf form permanently if you need to. Next up, we have the Insatiable Fury chest piece, which gives you Werebear as your true form and gaining +2 ranks to all Werebear skills. This also increases your physical and overpower damage, as well as increasing the armor and damage reduction while fortified, making it crucial for Werebear players if you want to play that route. After that, we have the Helmet Tempest Roar. Lucky hit storm skills have a chance to grant spirit. This also increases maximum spirit and gives you life on kills also, and generally really being good for a werewolf or a storm druid build. Next up, we have the Helmet Vasily's Prayer. Your art skills are now also Werebear skills and fortify you scaling with your power level, giving you another great piece for your Werebear build as well. After that, we have the Pants Storm Companion, which makes your wolf companions infused with power of the storm, dealing lightning damage and gaining the Storm Howl ability. This increases your companion skill damage and movement speed and also gives you ranks to your wolves ability, making it amazing if you're running a companion build. And lastly, we have the Ring Hunter's Zenith, where you gain a bonus when you kill with a shape-shifting skill. With a werewolf skill that you kill them with, your next non-ultimate werebear skill costs no resource and has no cooldown. When you kill with a werebear skill, your next werewolf skill will heal you when damage is first applied, making it a great choice if you're running a werebear werewolf hybrid shapeshifter build. Next up, we have the Necromancer Uniques. First up for the Necromancer, we have the Scythe Black River. Your corpse explosion consumes up to 4 additional corpses, dealing increased damage with a larger radius per additional corpse consumed, also increasing your rank of corpse explosion and damage to healthy enemies, making it great for a corpse explosion build. Next up, we have the two-handed Scythe Bloodless Scream. Your darkness skills now chill enemies up to 40%. It also gives you lucky hit. Your darkness skills have a 100% chance to generate additional essence against frozen targets. It also increases your darkness skill damage as well as damage to chilled and frozen enemies. This brings you crowd control that you desperately need as a darkness casting necromancer. After that, we have the Amulet Death Speaker's Pendant. Blood Surge casts a mini nova on your minions, and damage is increased by 10% per target drained by the initial cast, up to 50%. This also increases the damage of your blood and summoning skills, and increases your ranks of the Coalesced passive. Next up, we have the Greaves of the Empty Tomb. You create desecrated ground beneath your severs as they travel, damaging enemies for shadow damage over 2 seconds. This also increases your lucky hit chance with shadow damage, as well as brings essence cost reduction and damage reduction for enemies affected by your shadow damage over time effects. After that, you have the chest piece Blood Artisan's Cuirass. This is a very, very cool looking chest piece, by the way. When you pick up a certain amount of blood orbs, a free bone spirit is spawned, dealing a bonus damage based on your current life percentage. It also increases the damage you deal after you pick up a blood orb, as well as increasing the ranks of your bone spirit ability. Next up, we have the Gloves Howl from Below. Corpse Explosion now summons a volatile skeleton that charges at random enemies and explodes. Corpse Explosion damage is increased massively as well. After that, you have the headpiece Deathless Visage. Bone Spear leaves behind echoes as it travels that explode, dealing additional damage. This also increases your physical and critical strike damage, as well as your maximum essence overall, making this a crucial piece for a Bone Necromancer build. And lastly, you have the Ring of Mendeln. While you have 7 or more minions, you gain Lucky Hit up to a 10% chance to empower all of your minions, causing the next attack from each of them to explode for physical damage, giving a really nice piece if you're a summoner build as a Necromancer, and it also increases your minions' attack speed as well as their maximum minion life, and gives you thorns as well. Moving on from the Necromancer, we have the Rogue Uniques. First up, we have the Dagger Condemnation. Your core skills deal increased damage when spending 3 combo points, and your basic skills using this weapon have a 30% chance to generate 3 combo points, giving you a massive damage increase to potentially get a lot of combo points instantly. Next up, we have the Dagger Ashira's Kanjar. Hits with this weapon increase your attack speed for 4 seconds to a certain extent. This also gives you loads of passives like basic skill damage and damage to crowd-controlled enemies, and loads of movement speed after you kill an elite enemy. After that, we have the bow Sky Hunter. First damage you deal to an enemy is a guaranteed critical strike. If you add maximum stacks of precision key passive, gain energy, happening only once per cast. This also increases your marksman skill damage and critical strike damage, making it great for a ranged rogue build. Next up, we have the bow Wind Force. Lucky hits with this weapon have a chance to deal double damage and knock back the target. It also increases your core skill and damage to distant enemies as well. After that, you have the amulet Word of Hakan. Your rain of arrows is always imbued with all imbuements at once, and it also gives you an increase to your imbuement skills and ultimate skill damage, making your rain of arrows hit significantly harder. Next up, we have the gloves Grasp of Shadow. This gives you a lucky hit where damaging a vulnerable enemy with a marksman or cutthroat skill has a percentage chance to summon a shadow clone that mimics your attack. This also increases your shadow clone damage as well as damage to vulnerable enemies and gives you plus skill ranks to all your core skills. After that, you have the really awesome looking helmet Cowl of the Nameless. You gain increased lucky hit chance against crowd-controlled enemies, making this fantastic for a lucky hit build. It also gives you crowd control duration and cooldown reduction on all your abilities. And lastly, you have the pants Eyes in the Dark. Unless it hits a boss or player, Death Trap will continue to rearm itself until it kills an enemy. However, Death Trap's cooldown is increased as well. This also increases your shadow damage, damage to elites, and increases your trap damage also, making this mandatory for a trap build. Moving on, we have the Sorcerer Uniques. First up, we have the Wand Flame Scar. While channeling Incinerate, you periodically shoot embers that are attracted to enemies, dealing additional fire damage. It also increases your damage to burning and healthy enemies, as well as increases the ranks of your Incinerate ability. This is amazing for fire mage builds when you're focusing on burning damage. After that, you have the Staff of Endless Rage. Every third cast of Fireball launches 2 additional projectiles. This also increases the core skill damage and Fireball attack speed, as well as increases your ranks of Fireball overall. Next up, we have the Staff of Lam Asen. Charge bolts pierce, but deal less damage. This also increases your lightning damage and gives you mana per kill, and also increases the ranks of your charge bolts ability. After that, we have Isadora's Overflowing Cameo. Collecting crackling energy gives you a 10% chance to release a lightning nova, dealing damage to nearby enemies. This also increases your crackling energy damage, gives you additional movement speed, and increases your ranks of the Shocking Impact passive. Next up, we have the chess piece Raiment of the Infinite. After using Teleport, close enemies are pulled to you and stunned. Teleport's cooldown is increased by 20% also. This also increases the damage to close and stunned enemies, as well as gives you +1 to the rank of Glass Cannon passive, making a great overall piece for the Sorcerer. After that, we have the Gloves of the Illuminator. Fireball now bounces as it travels, exploding each time it hits the ground, but its explosion deals less damage. This increases your critical strike chance and Fireball attack speed, and also increases the ranks of your Fireball ability also. And finally, we have the Ice Heart's Pants. Enemies that die while frozen have a chance to unleash a Frost Nova, making for an insane unique if you're a Frost Mage build, and it also increases the damage to frozen and injured enemies, and increases your freeze duration on enemies as well. Next up, it is also confirmed that there are going to be back pieces in Diablo 4 as cosmetic items. Now, we aren't really sure if these are going to be strictly from the store, or these are going to be achievement-based, but it looks like they are just cosmetic items. As you can see on the screen, we have the Lunar Halo cosmetic, which is a very almost Night Elf themed back piece, and the Matriarch Mantle, which looks very dark and gritty as well. After that, we have the Font of the Mother back piece, which looks a bit smaller compared to the rest. And then we have the Progenitor Favor, which is a very big skull back piece cosmetic on your character, which would honestly look insane on a Necromancer if you're running a Blund build. And for the last three, we have the Matron Sigil Coffer, which has a really nice glowing symbol on it and has some trinkets hanging off it as well. And then you have the Hell Room Tabernacle and the Sightless Seer back trophy. Honestly, these bad cosmetics add to the, the already deep customization of your character on how you want them to look from a pure appearance standpoint. All of these look really, really cool and could fit into any class out there, and this has me absolutely hyped up for more appearance and cosmetic options. I personally think it would be even better if they were earned through achievements or doing specific challenges rather than just being bought from the store as well, but we'll have to see how that goes. We also got a first look at literally every single horse armor we believe they have in the game right now. There are so many to go through, but we're just going to display on the screen here a quick screen recording of all of them. And as you can see, there is just so many options you can actually choose from, a lot more than I actually thought there would be in the game, ranging from, simple basic designs to heavy bright red demon-inspired designs, or even assassin and druid-like designs as well, and, bright blue and vibrant colors. They give you loads of options to choose from, even on your horse, which has me super excited. We counted a total of 61 different horse armors found here, and now we don't know which one of these are going to be part of the store or what, or even if they're going to be achievement or just quest-based. But this is all that we have seen so far, with a total of 60 different horse armors and all their appearances revealed, making for an absolutely massive leak if you care about cosmetics even a little bit. I'm sure this has a lot of you, mount collectors and achievement hunters and, people out there really, really excited like myself. It is also confirmed that there is going to be mounts inside of the store. It is part of the IGR series of mounts right here, which I believe stands for in-game rewards. Let me know what you guys think about that in the description below. Now, if that is for in-game rewards, I am very, very excited because achievement and challenge-based rewarding through cosmetics is one of my personal favorite things you can have. And something else that's very interesting is that this mount is actually called the Lyeth Ice Howl mount, which is a bit confusing, when it comes to mounts in the description as well, because a horse doesn't actually howl, they neigh, which leads me to believe that this could be a mount from an animal that actually howls like a wolf. But, also in the description, it also says that the mottled colt carries with it the trinkets of heroes long dead and buried, which, if you guys don't know, a colt is another word for saying a young horse. So overall, this mount can either mean that we have different beasts to ride in Diablo 4 as mounts, or the actual mount name is just confusing in itself, so we'll have to see what happens with that, but we will keep you guys updated. Moving on to more topics, it also shows that this mount is part of a starter pack series, as you can see highlighted on screen. Obviously starter packs and things like that is very common in games that have monetization or battle passes implemented into them, because they will sell these packs which give you a bundle of cosmetics at a bit of a reduced price that you would normally buy all these cosmetics individually. The only items we could see as part of the starter pack are the mount that you see on screen here, the Protean Axe, and the Beginning's End. We don't have any visuals on what these actually look like, but this is just confirming that there are going to be a wide variety of packs inside of Diablo 4's cosmetic store. It also looks like there are going to be a series of Twitch drops implemented as well. From what we found, it looks like there's going to be a mount, a series of armor cosmetics, as well as weapons labeled as the Azure Hand. Now, usually to earn Twitch drops cosmetics, you have to watch a streamer on Twitch that is playing Diablo 4 for a certain amount of time before you start earning the cosmetic rewards, whether it be 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, whatever it may be. So some of these rewards do look like there are going to be back pieces as well that we were talking about earlier. So that's going to be really important to grab if you want to get some back pieces also. So be sure to tune in on Twitch for Diablo 4's launch to earn those rewards. And we also got to look at what the Battle Pass seasonal progression would actually look like. They announced that there is going to be 80 hours of content within each season, and some of these objectives include defeating elite monsters, completing local events, completing dungeons, and obtaining and collecting materials out in the open world. It looks like when you complete a majority of the objectives listed in your chapter, you advance into the following chapter, bringing you brand new objectives and rewards to obtain. It also looks like as you get higher in the chapters, you will get a bit more difficult of challenges like conquering strongholds, completing local events with mastery, and completing dungeon events inside dungeons. There are also easy ones as part of them, so it's not like it's incredibly difficult to pull off and, advance through these chapters, so that's good also. Additionally, we got a first look at the currency inside of Diablo 4 store, and it's going to be called Palladium. Now, we aren't sure if you're going to be able to get Palladium from completing unique challenges and achievements inside Diablo 4 itself, but 99% of the time, you're just going to be able to earn it with real-life money in exchange for the Palladium. Now, just looking at this from a basic mathematics and, experience of dealing with these types of things in the past, you could see that 500 Palladium rewards an additional 0 amount, while buying 1,000 Palladium rewards an additional 100. This trend continues with when you buy 2,000 Palladium, it rewards 300, so on and so forth. It looks like for 500 Palladium, it would cost about $5. For 1,000 Palladium, it would cost $10. And for 10,000 Palladium, it would cost $100. Usually, games incentivize you for buying more upfront by giving you additional currency for free, and it looks like Diablo 4 is going to be following that pattern. Moving on to other confirmations, we also got a first look officially at PvP ears being implemented. As you can see on screen here, where it states, "It is the ear of an unfortunate adventurer that crossed your path," which is a really great trophy to obtain once you kill an enemy player in PvP combat, as well as them also sharing journey caches. Now, journey caches, I guess, are going to be given to you as you increase in levels in Diablo, giving you guaranteed legendary items as you progress your character through the game. You have Chapter 2 for level 25, which gives you legendary gloves and pants. Chapter 3 for level 40, which gives you a legendary chest piece and boots. And then Chapter 4 at level 50, which gives you a legendary helmet, amulet, and ring. This is going to be really great for giving you a nice power spike as you're progressing through your character. Giving you guaranteed legendaries to hopefully give you some awesome items, whether it be very easy to progress through an alternate character or your main. It's going to be a great way to give you a bonus as you're leveling up. So just to quickly wrap up all of the actual leaks that we have over 40 total uniques that we've showed you, with a variety of legendary effects and game-changing passives, confirmed back cosmetics as well as cosmetic packs, and Twitch drops being implemented. We also got a first look at all the mount armor with over 60 different variations being shown, PvP ears being official, as well as journey caches to give you a pack of legendary items as you're progressing through the game on your character. The website that we found all this on is linked in the description below, and if you guys are interested in checking more out, you can. There's also more out there that we could have released, but some of it had some spoilers in it toward the main story. We didn't want to share that information if you aren't interested in checking it out yourself, so if you want to see more, make sure to click the link in the description below. Moving on to some other news, we also wanted to state that we have other great news for Diablo fans out there. You'll be happy to know that recent Activision financial reports show a variety of details pertaining to major Activision franchises, including Modern Warfare 2, Overwatch 2, and obviously Diablo 4. Now, according to the Activision investor report document, the CEO, Bobby Kotick, shared, and I quote, "In our 33rd year, Activision Blizzard is performing exceptionally well. Every one of our key intellectual properties continues to grow year over year, with Call of Duty once again a key driver of growth. Pre-sales for Diablo 4 are strong, and none of this would be possible without our people who deliver excellence for our players every single day." Kotick also says that demand indicators for Diablo 4 are strong, although we continue to plan prudently. The report also expresses that this ambitious title will serve as the launch for a compelling live service with regular seasons and story-driven expansions planning to drive engagement for many, many years to come. So it seems like Diablo 4 is an upcoming imminent success, according to the Activision financial reports. And it looks like they're excited to be creating non-stop live service content for the game to keep it alive for a very long time post-launch. Now, if you're interested in playing Diablo 4 on multiple consoles, it looks like it's confirmed that all the in-game incentives from buying the Ultimate or Digital Deluxe Edition will carry over to both consoles. The only thing that doesn't is the early access period, so you would be locked to playing one single console through the early access. The other consoles that you didn't get the early access period on, you will have to wait until the game is officially launched for everyone. If you don't know already, it is also confirmed as well that if you bought a version that can be upgraded on your Battle.net account, you can actually upgrade it to a higher edition without it breaking your bank account. It should simply showcase the difference of the cost at checkout. For example, if you bought the regular Diablo 4 game at $70 and you want to upgrade to the $90 edition, it would simply cost you $20. We also got more confirmations on how the campaign skip feature will actually work. Now, whether you roll a bunch of alts to explore classes before getting the max level, or whether you just want to play your favorite part of the story to grab a specific quest reward, it doesn't matter where you're at in the story, you can skip it entirely once you've completed it on your main character once. Skipping the campaign at the main menu completes the campaign and locks features gated by the campaign, and it leaves the side quests completely untouched, and cinematics are all skippable, but scripted events that play out during gameplay are not skippable. This also works for all new seasons that come out in Diablo 4, helping heavily for replayability every 3 or 4 months. And right when the game launches, you can actually skip the campaign in Season 1 whenever that actually drops. It's also important to note that once you skip the campaign on a brand new character, you will be level 1. Skipping on an existing character will retain that character's current level, which they will be skipped on. So not a ton of official Blizzard news the last 4 or 5 days, but I mean, we just dug up a ton of leaks for you all today. I mean, I cannot believe how many of the cosmetics and things that we just officially grabbed from, you know, the data mines on this Diablo 4 database website. But a lot of things I didn't even know that were coming is actually coming in an absolute, you know, like a crazy amount. I mean, we have all the horse armors, the back cosmetics, a lot more customization than I actually thought coming into the game. And I've been, you know, doing research and news on this game for the last 2-3 months. So it's very, very interesting and fun to find out. We have a little over a week until the early access is officially released to us. And by the way, don't forget you can also preload the game on, I believe, May the 10th. So don't forget to actually be able to preload the game because you don't want to try to download it the day of and then, you know, get hit with a queue, whatever. So, and we also have a little under 30 days left until Diablo 4 is officially launched, man. And I am super, super excited. We are very, very happy about that over here. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we are also doing a giveaway for a free copy of Diablo 4, which we will announce near the end of May, right before launch. So if you guys are interested, please be sure to check the link in the bio to see how you can earn a free copy for yourself. And we also have an official Comeback Kids Diablo 4 Discord server with almost 1,000 people in there talking and chatting every single day about Diablo. So if you want to join a fun, happy, and positive community for Diablo 4, be sure to click the link in the bio as well. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. It's an absolute pleasure to be making content for you all. Until the very end, my name is Sky from the Comeback Kids. I will see you all in the next one. Peace!